I don't feel like making an intro today, so just pretend that I did it. It's your faceless bestie. Like, sub, the algorithm things. Okay, here's why doing what makes you happy improves your life. I feel like that's no brainer information, but a lot of people don't. Like, obviously, doing what it sounds so like I feel like how do I even talk about this? Because it's so like that's it, that's the video. Doing what makes you happy greatly improves your life. Like, that's literally it. It's like 45 seconds of worth of advice, I guess, or information, or whatever you want to call this shit. I don't even know what I'm doing here. But you should always, if you've ever heard of like like the Bashir community, I know that especially here recently, he's popping back up a lot for a lot of people. The algorithm's like pushing him again. I don't know why, on YouTube at least. But he always talks about following your greatest joy. Like, that is just like, bro, I don't even know why we have to say that, but to each other, like, as, but I guess it's good that we say that to each other because people often need to be reminded. Do whatever makes you happy. Okay. I just feel like you should always do that anyway, but the reason why it improves your life is because it's literally recreating and reconstructing an environment in your personal reality bubble that is constantly showing you what you want. That's your flow state. That's you going with the flow. That's how to be in the flow state. And yeah, okay, everybody's like, well, you can't just do whatever you want to do all the time. Well, let me just tell you something about my life, okay? I guess we should explain it as the shift. I'll just call it the shift because I don't know what else to call it. But ever since the shift, right? Ever since I started like really applying and living my life differently a couple of years ago, I stopped working like 7 months ago because I did not like to work. I hated it. Now that I know this ain't gonna work for everybody, I know everybody cannot do this at all, and I'm not encouraging you to. But I literally hated to work. I hate it. I still hate it. This kind of feels like a job, which is why it takes me so long to do stuff. I have to batch record these and then edit them all together, and just like in this process of getting it over with, like that. And that's my approach to it is. But I feel like there's just so much misinformation that's being skewed, and everything's being separated as if it's different worlds, and in my world they're not separate. Like, and when I say that, I mean like you've got the people that think that they're creating their own reality and manifesting it, because in a sense you are. And then there's the non-dual kids, self-inquiry, neo-advaita kids, the religious kids that are like, leave it all up to source, God, awareness, or whatever they're calling it, right? And they're not nothing is separate, so it's all happening at once. It's all together. It's all the same. Like, it doesn't. That's not a. Just do what makes you happy. So, anyways, I ramble. Sorry if you're new here. That probably threw you off. I haven't worked in 7 months. I don't stress myself out about life. It actually irritates my partner a lot because he's. So I was like, why don't you do anything? Why don't you go anywhere? It's because I don't care. Literally, living in my own little bubble makes me happy. And people try to tell you, like, you shouldn't do that. You should get out in the world. And no. When it is necessary, I go outside. When it is not necessary, I do not. I don't engage in conversations with people that do speak negatively. I know I'm an optimistic person, so anybody that was a pessimist, I pretty much cut them out of my life. Most people will tell you that's not healthy. I don't care. It doesn't make me happy to be around people that are constantly being negative and talking shit about other people, so I don't bother with them. And I don't encourage you to bother with them. It's unless you are a pessimist and that kind of person. Typically, those kind of people link up together because they enjoy it. And then here you come with your optimistic bullshit into their negative Nancy world, trying to figure out why they talking shit about you and don't like you. Sis, that's not your tribe. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no right or wrong. Everything exists here, and everything can happen. So I'm just saying, in the words of Bashir, or Bashar, I don't even know how you say it, follow your greatest joy. Do whatever makes you happy. Like I said, I literally have not worked in 6 months. I'm never going back to work. I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. Money just keeps fucking showing up in my bank account. It's just appearing out of nowhere. I'm constantly surrounded by it. Now, of course, that is my self-concept. When I talk about my reality bubble shifting, that's what I'm meaning. Like, I did spend a lot of time on what you would call inner work. And so it would appear that that was the process, is that I did a bunch of inner work, told myself a bunch of shit, started living a certain way and believing certain things, and now that is just the way my life is appearing. But there's no real process. It's just, that is just what happened. Like, obviously, logically, that is what was going to happen, because that's where my brain was. In that same token, if you are somebody who, let's say you don't work right now and you don't have those kind of like beliefs or self-concept around money, you're like, bullshit, you haven't worked in 7 months and money just keeps appearing out of nowhere for you by the thousands of dollars at a time. How is that even possible? There's no way. Well, then that's why it's not happening for you. Because in your reality bubble, this isn't a thing. So no, you should not go and fucking quit your job tomorrow. And also, that's not even how I did it. If you want me to talk about that, I'll tell you about it, because the story literally unfolded on its own. I did not have to do anything at all. It just happened. It just happened. And I just went with it. It didn't upset me. Like, I wasn't like, I was just like, yeah, okay, I know I'm gonna be alright, and I hate this fucking job anyway. If you knew me in real life and you saw the way I live my life, you would think she's boring and she doesn't do anything, because I don't do anything. And I took that pressure off myself to feel like I needed to do something. My entire, like, quote unquote manifestation journey was about being able to live the life I want without having to put in any effort or try. I don't care if people think I'm lazy. I don't give a fuck. I agree with you. I did it on purpose. I don't want to be bought. Like, that's just the reality bubble that I've created for myself. So yeah, money, it shows up out of nowhere for me all the time in thousands. I literally, the other day, $4,000. It was like $4,012 and some change. I think it was like 36 cents or something. Just boom, in my account. Just popped up on its own. I've literally not, I don't worry about anything, because I know that, one, nothing's really going on, so it's not that big of a deal. If I need to go get a job, I'll get a job. It's not that serious. And I'm not going to go get a job that I hate, and I'm not going to go do something that I don't like to do. But my core principle is that I don't need to do that, because I won't have to do that. There's not a lot of people in the world that I guess think like me. Maybe that's what this channel is about. Me trying to find these people that know this thing, or think that they know this thing that I think that I know. That's why it sounds like rambling, because it's literally just a conversation that I'm having with myself and putting on the internet. So yeah, do what makes you happy. Don't suffer through your life. It's not necessary. It's not a requirement to be alive. You don't have to work really, really hard to get things. Like, that's so stupid. But if you believe that you do, and you like to live and function that way, then go ahead. But if you're like me, and you're out there, and you're like, I don't want to fucking do anything, and I don't, like, life should be easy for me, things should just happen for me and come to me, just girl, just start doing whatever makes you happy. Doesn't matter what that is. If you have to, like, because if your current self-concept mental diet is set up where you think money has to come from your job and you have to do this, this, and this, then please do not just fucking quit your job and go on about it, because you're going to struggle for money. You're going to create an unnecessary struggle in your life because that's what you believe. Take some time, change your the way you think about whatever that thing is, and it'll unfold the way it's supposed to. That's literally how it happened for me. I didn't do a thing. It all happened on its own. You have to relinquish a little bit of control, and the way that you do that is by trusting that you've done what you needed to do. It all comes down to trust, a little bit of faith, and a little bit of confidence, baby. That's all you need. So yeah, ask anybody my I mean, obviously you can't because you don't see my face and you don't know nobody, and this channel's not even under my real name. But when I tell you, people in my life are like, girl, you are lazy. I enjoy getting up every day, cleaning my house, working out, just chilling and hanging out with my kids, playing video games, writing poetry when I feel the need to, and binging on Netflix. Reading different books that I'm interested in, going for a walk around my neighborhood. Like that is, I enjoy that. I don't want to do anything more than that. So I don't. And it looks lazy. It looks like I'm just chilling. It doesn't. I used to think like, okay, in the middle of the day I'd have like off days. This is back in the day when I still worked and stuff. And I would have like off days from work, and I would see these people in like coffee shops and gyms at like 2:00, and I'm like, I wonder if you're on a lunch break or if you just don't do anything all day. I'd love to be one of those people that just does nothing all day and can go and do whatever they want at like 1:00, 2:00 in the afternoon. And now I'm that person. The universe will support you in whatever way you see fit, and whatever way that looks like for you is not exactly going to look the same for somebody else, because each little energy character is different. And the reality that each energy character is living in is different. But they're not separate. All of those things are being supported by the whole, because it's all one thing. Okay, I'm done rambling. The non-duality kids won't even hear this, because there's nothing to do. Nothing has to get done. It's like, yeah, but it does, doesn't it, somehow? Anyway, literally, and with the most compassion ever, I say to you, go enjoy your life.